Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the Longshot podcast, brought to you by 342 Productions. I'm your host, as always, Duncan Robinson, here with my good friend and co-host, Davis Reid, who's fresh off a honeymoon. Davis, you look rejuvenated.
I'll tell you what, I got a little glow to me, the burn to tan. It was day one was so sunburnt that I could not be in the sun for the next 3 to 4 days. But luckily we had a full week, so I had some time to recover.
I've talked about you at length as a friend. Obviously, you're a great friend, but I want to talk about you a little bit as a coworker.
Oh dear.
So I hit up Davis about halfway through his honeymoon. At this point, he's told his now wife that he was going to, have his phone off and there was going to be no communication.
Yes.
Of course, I'm incapable of doing that, and I reach out to him. I say, "Hey, I have this crazy idea. Why don't you redirect your flight home to Kansas City to Las Vegas?" And just like that, 3 days later, here you are, boots on the ground in the Sin City, and we're just lining up episodes, lining up interviews, and we're having a great time. Your beloved wife.
Come on now.
Yeah, I got to get used to that. Casey was not dragged because she came willingly, but is now here also in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And I kind of viewed it as just kind of like a tag on to the end of your honeymoon.
Yeah, well look, selling me on Summer League in Vegas isn't that difficult. And this feels like an opportunity to shout out Southwest Airlines because it was very easy to redirect my trip from San Jose del Cabo to Las Vegas instead of Kansas City.
You bring up Southwest. I wasn't gonna do this. I really wasn't gonna do it because I wanted to move forward. I didn't want to put negative energy out there about American Airlines. I'd done it before.
Oh no.
I didn't want to do it again. I really didn't want to. But you talk about the customer service of Southwest, you talk about the convenience of Southwest, and I had an experience within the last week that, with American Airlines, mind you, that if I said it was disappointing, that would be a severe undersell of what it actually was. I'll paint a little picture for you. Not that you asked.
I did not.
Not that anybody asked. First and foremost, I want to address, it's really great that American Airlines no longer sponsors our arena.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've moved on. We're now FTX Arena, which is great. Love FTX. Crypto, digital assets are the currency of the future, if you will. But back to American Airlines. I had an incredible moment on Friday. My agent, Jason Glushon, surprised me with my entire family, minus my brother, who regrettably could not be there, in Miami for the signing of my contract. I worked out in the morning. I go upstairs. I think I'm just going up to sign a piece of paper. I promise I'm getting to the American Airlines. I think I'm just going up to sign a piece of paper. And there they are. Everyone's there. I'm not an overly emotional person. I could not speak. I was at a loss for words, fighting back, whatever, tears or, whatever you want to call it.
Let them go.
It was special. Truly, it was special. I kind of said this to them, and I guess I'll say it to everybody who's listening.
No such thing as privacy anymore.
For so many people, that moment was just a signing and kind of the culmination of my professional career. Not culmination, but the work that I put in coming together. For them, they're obviously the few people in my life, obviously who've been there since the very beginning, but have seen everything, the ups, the downs, trials, tribulations, and the amount that they all collectively had sacrificed for me to be in the situation that I'm in is honestly astounding looking back. My mom, dad, even my sister as well, and my brother both, flying across the country to support me, be at my games, driving all over New England to go to some prep school game where I don't even check in, and being there with a smile on afterwards. Just incredible. I'm now going to change the pace because I'm going to get back to American Airlines.
Wait, what a great moment. Let's just take that in for a second.
Yeah, it was really, really special.
All right, now to American Airlines.
Yeah, so anyways, I have this incredible day. It's unbelievable. I'm set to fly out that night. I'm going to go to Indianapolis, visit a couple of friends, work out a little bit before I head to Las Vegas on Sunday. So Friday night, I'm supposed to fly out. I have a 9:05 departure on an American Airlines flight from Miami to Indianapolis. I get there about 70 minutes early, go through my process, whatever it is, check my bag, make it through. I'm sitting there and they delay the flight. Perfectly reasonable. Understand. I've been on many flights that have been delayed. It's okay. They say it's going to be just 30-minute delay. What they say the delay is that there's a valve that's not working. And the valve is required for when you travel into below freezing climates that it helps de-ice the plane in the air. So mind you, we're going to Indianapolis in the middle of August or the beginning of August. We're not going into a freezing climate, but they're adamant that we can't fly. Fine. I'm not a professional plane consultant or mechanic or whatever you want to call it. That's, above my pay grade. They continue to push it. They delay it 3 hours. I'm still in the airport. After hour 3 of the delay, we're about getting ready to board, and they cancel the flight.
Yikes.
And they say, and I understand that this is actually a thing, that the crew was past like duration or whatever it is. I don't know, like that the crew couldn't work longer. Like they finished their shift.
You don't want a tired pilot.
Yeah, fair enough. My problem is that why do you make us sit there for 3 hours? Why don't after hour 2 just say, you know what, it's looking like we're not going to make it happen, go home. After hour 1 would have been great. I would have been fine. So anyways, they move it to the next morning. I get to the airport the next morning. My flight's delayed again the next morning. And it's not like they flew us out at 6 a.m. They flew us out at 10. I don't even get wheels off the ground in Miami till 11. Anyways, it was such a special day on Friday that I didn't let it like totally kill my mood. But now that I'm talking about it again, I'm getting all worked up.
It seems like maybe it killed your mood a little bit.
It didn't really. I was on such a high. It was good. But I am disappointed in American Airlines. I want to say that.
What do you expect? I mean, they're trying to fix a problem to fly you safely to your location. I mean, what do you want from them?
It's a little bit unfair of me to pick on them. I think so. But I've been on planes quite frequently in the last month and a half, and maybe this is karma. That's actually what you said when I told you that it was delayed. That every time I'm on an American Airlines flight, something happens.
Yeah.
When it's the other one, nothing happens.
You've publicly shamed them, so maybe you deserve it.
Maybe I do. But sorry, American Airlines, but I'm just.
Hey, Southwest.
Yeah.
We love you.
All right.
My flight in Mexico was delayed on my way here. I was going to miss my connection going through Phoenix. What did Southwest do? No questions asked. They put me on a different flight, got me here that night. That flight actually also ended up being delayed, but the flight, we were on the tarmac, flight was delayed, and the flight attendant comes on, the sweetest woman. She's like, guys, I know no one wants to be doing this. We just want to get you there safely. If anyone needs water, snacks, anything, I'm only a human, but let me know, and I'll do whatever I can. So
That's
Southwest.
Nice. It's a nice sentiment.
Thank you.
Anyways, this is beginning to sound like a travel podcast.
Yeah, maybe it is.
We'll bring it back to basketball. We're here in Las Vegas. We're taking in some summer league action. We have an incredible episode for you, Udonis Haslem. This is the most fun I've had since I've done this podcast. Yep. Just listening to him go, all things basketball, business, and of course with UD, you're always going to get your fair share of expletives as well.
This one was a long time coming. Also, these podcasts in person are just so much better.
So much better.
I know we've said that already. Yeah. Like you said, we are here in Summer League. Do you walk around this place with a little bit different swagger to you now? You used to be the unknown name here at Summer League. I got to say, I haven't been with you much. I've only been here for a day, but it seems like you got a little different energy to you.
Maybe a little bit. I pull a strategic move, and what I do is I always surround myself with Tyler Hero, because if I'm with Tyler, he's always going to get recognized first, and that's going to be the person that they're really excited about.
Smart.
And at the very most, I'm like a throw-in, like, oh, and can I also maybe get a picture with you? And I'm like, yeah, of course, I would love to. But more often than not, they're just so overwhelmed by the fact that they met Tyler that I just kind of, slide by on the wayside.
I mean, he has a song made after him.
He does.
So there have been times that I've been with you and people will come ask you for a picture and then they'll go, so what's Tyler like?
Yeah. I mean, I still, to this day, I get a lot of, are you Tyler Hero? Because, I don't really think we look alike, but I don't know. I guess they confuse the white guys on the Heat. I don't know.
That seems like a pretty logical explanation for what's going on there.
Yeah. anyways, it's nice to be here. A lot of fond memories here in Las Vegas, particularly with Summer League. Actually, I've never really been here outside of Summer League. I came here for the G League Invitational or whatever that tournament is. That's not what it's called, but it's something like that. Yeah. G League Showcase. That is what it's called. But yeah, so it's nice to be back. I love Miami Heat, the Miami group that they're rolling out for Summer League this year. I think there's only one drafted guy, a bunch of guys that just play with a chip. They just had an unbelievable victory over a tough Memphis team, so that was fun.
There's an amazing audio clip that was circling around social media of Max Strus.
Hey, what y'all see over there that I see? What y'all see over there that I see? Who? I see every one of them was drafted. Right. Ain't none of us were. Be dogs. Be hungry. Show these people why we should have been drafted. Come on, y'all. Let's go.
He brings the guys in a huddle and he goes, look over there. What do you see? I see a bunch of drafted guys. Let's go show them why we should have been drafted. Amazing. It just, not only is it the long shot mentality here.
Just oozes Heat culture.
It's just seeping out.
Oozes. I think I commented on that. Inject that into my veins.
Yes. Yeah. I like that.
Because that's just like the lifeblood of the Miami Heat. I'm saying that like somewhat sarcastically, but it's absolutely true.
I have a question for you. So now that you are no longer playing in the Summer League, like you said, this is, I think, your first time here as a non-player or a not active player in the Summer League.
Yeah.
There's like this whole culture in the NBA, it seems, of the stars sitting courtside. They got their fits. Bam has leaned completely into that by showing up with his gold medal.
I mean, you want to talk about a power move. Fresh off a flight from Tokyo, just not wearing it around your neck, but just letting it dangle in your hand, a gold medal, just perusing the baseline on the bench with a gold medal in hand. Everyone's trying to get a touch on it. That is as much of a power move as I think there could possibly be.
Did you ever have the phase in high school when you just turned 16, you get to drive now, you wear your keychain around your neck or you put it in your pocket, you let the keychain part hang out of your pocket so people know you can drive?
That might be a Kansas thing.
Oh, let me tell you, you want to be a cool kid in high school in Kansas, you show that you got a keychain. It's part of your personality. I got those vibes from Bam. It was just letting people know, just a friendly reminder.
I think that's borderline disrespectful to an Olympic gold medalist.
Hey, you don't know what it's like to drive
to turn around
City.
And compare his incredible accomplishment to passing your driver's test in the state of Kansas.
It's a big deal.
I've been to Kansas a couple times. This isn't a slight at them, but I just don't imagine they have the most stringent
speak for yourself, buddy.
Driving school or whatever you want to call it.
Well, here's my question for you. What do you think you could do that would one up that? Like, it seems like Bam has solidified himself as like the guy for Heat courtside Summer League, but I think you need to enter your name in the ring.
I don't think there's anything I could possibly do.
Come on. I'm talking like throw on a crazy fit, maybe show up.
That's not my lane though. Like you still gotta be true to who you are. Like if I just started doing some like obnoxious stuff,
I don't like
that
it.
was just not true to who I was. I'm actually very comfortable just giving Bam that crown. I think he deserves it.
I guess
he represented our country masterfully and brought home gold medal, which is what it's all about.
All right, congrats.
All right, let's get to the Reddit question of the week because we got a heck of an interview coming up here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bright Cellars is the wine service that helps you find wines you love while making wine more accessible to everyone. Whether you're new to the wine world or you've been drinking wine for years, Bright Cellars pairs you with unique wines using their crazy accurate algorithm. Just take their 30-second quiz. Let the wine magic happen, and they'll pair you 6 wines that fit your taste profile perfectly.
Bright Cellars sources their wines from all over the world: France, Portugal, Australia, South Africa, California, and many more. Plus, they have wine education cards, Dunk, so you can learn about the wine, the tasting notes, serving temperatures, what food pairs well with the wine. It's perfect for a date night or a Netflix binge. My current Netflix binge, The Malice in the Palace doc. I guess that's not a binge, that's one show.
Yeah.
The best part is that if you do not like a bottle of wine, Bright Cellars will work with you to include a replacement bottle in your next order. To top it all off, Bright Cellars members also get access to exclusive premium wines from private wine labels.
Who knew my co-host was a sommelier?
Come on, Nick.
Look at you talking about tasting notes and pairings. So profound. For podcast listeners, we are giving you 50% off your first 6 bottle orders from Bright Cellars. Head to brightsellars.com/longshot. That's Bright Cellars, BRIGHTCELLARS.com/longshot to receive 50% off your first 6 bottle order. Grab your passport, a wine glass, and come explore the world of wine with Bright Cellars.
This week we got Akai Suichi. You want to take a shot at that pronunciation?
Shuichi.
Akai Suichi. They ask, when did you start watching the NBA? In your opinion, who's your GOAT? And who's your personal top 5 all time? So this isn't, I don't want like who the greatest players are in your opinion. I want your personal GOAT and who your top 5 is. Just think back to,
I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go top 5 like who the best players are. I'm going to go top 5 like what holds sentimental value
it's
to
exactly
me
what I
watching
want.
growing
Yes.
up.
Perfect.
Do you want me to just rattle off my
and
5?
when you started seriously watching the NBA?
Or you want to go? You want to go shot for shot here?
Let's go you first.
All right.
Yeah.
I got Allen Iverson. I got Steve Nash, Nick Van Exel.
Whoa.
Legendary.
Okay.
Why? I originally became a Nick Van Exel fan because I was playing NBA Live 2003. And he was absolutely torching me.
Nice.
What I would always do is like I would guard the point guard and just spam the steal button in the backcourt and just try to get steals. And he had like a tight handle, so he just like cross, and he would come up and just shoot a top of the key 3. So then I realized like, wow, I should be playing as this guy. So he was my go-to player in NBA Live 03.
Love that.
Nick Van Exel, Antoine Walker, the Antoine Shimmy, growing up in the Boston area. That was a classic. And I'm going to round it out with Dirk Nowitzki. I just loved his,
shout out Jason.
Yeah, shout out to Jason. Also, since we brought up Jason, I mentioned you as a great coworker. Jason also hopped on a flight in very short notice. That's just, it's high level
behavior. Got the whole crew here.
Is what it is. And if you're noticing, if you're watching on YouTube, why the production value is so much higher on this week's episode, it has nothing to do with Davis and I.
0%.
Literally nothing. How about this little long shot thing in the back? It's pretty fancy.
Yeah, come on now.
Anyways, yeah, Dirk is rounding out my top 5.
Okay, that's 5. There were 3 questions. You just answered one of them. So there's your top 5. When did you start watching the NBA? Let's go seriously.
I started watching probably like middle school. Probably like 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
That seems right.
I would watch games occasionally with my dad, maybe when I was younger, but 6th, 7th, and 8th is when I really started to like actually experience fandom. Which is special.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then your personal GOAT. Not who you think is the greatest player of all time, but just a favorite of yours.
Can I pick from my list?
I mean, I guess it would make sense to, but you don't have to.
I'm going to take AI, Allen Iverson.
Yeah, that seems like a good
I mean, he was like iconic. He was a cultural icon to make a, tiny white kid from, suburban New Hampshire, wear finger sleeves and shooting sleeves and headbands and all sorts of stuff.
This in retrospect was maybe problematic, but I think as a kid I wanted like cornrows. I took my baseball socks and I cut the bottoms off so it was an arm sleeve.
Wow.
Same as you, I wore the finger sleeves, like homemade finger sleeves. I wanted to be AI.
Yeah, I mean he's truly one of one.
Yeah.
Anyways, are you answering yours or no?
Yeah, I'll go quick because I don't know who cares. But I started watching the NBA actually in college is when I first started seriously watching the NBA. Growing up in Kansas, KU basketball is like religion. Both my parents went to KU. So growing up as a kid, it was more college basketball for me than the NBA. But then when you get to that age and you've played against that, some of those guys, it's like it just isn't as cool to root for it when you're like now cheering for guys who are younger than you. It's just it's weird and better than you. It's weird.
That happened to me in college when it was like I can't like root for an NBA team anymore. Like especially when I was like a 3-year-old senior. It's like those guys are substantially younger than I am.
Correct.
Like
I remember going to watch you actually play in LA, the Lakers, and there was a point in the game where I was there with a buddy who's my age, and we counted 9 of the 10 guys on the court were younger than us.
Yeah.
And we were like 25. It's like,
Yeah.
Anyway. So seriously started watching in high school or college. My top 5, AI has to be in there as well.
Okay.
Steve Nash.
You lose points for lack of originality, but continue.
Daniel Gibson. Booby Gibson.
That's a great one.
Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Texas that did it because, like I said, I was more of a college. But
Daniel Gibson had a great
I was
run.
a big Booby Gibson guy. Steve Francis. I used to have a Steve Francis card with a little. You know how they did the cards with a little piece of the jersey?
Yep.
Had one of those framed on my wall. Big Steve Francis guy. And then I got to go Steph. I mean, that kind of feels like an alley-oop, but Steph.
I don't love it, but I'll allow it. All right, let's push forward here. Long shot feature. We got Jayla Jackson and Amani Stanton, 2 teenagers from Atlanta who made history by becoming the first black female partners to win Harvard's international debate competition. Not only did they win, but they went undefeated in the competition.
Undefeated.
So shout out to Jayla and Amani Stanton.
I wish I would have done debate in growing up, like middle school or high school. I think it's a very valuable skill. To learn how to argue.
I don't know if that's like totally you're a pretty non-confrontational human being.
Exactly.
Oh, so you think it would have like harvested something inside
I think
you?
so. Yeah.
It would have grown.
And you learn how to argue both sides of which I'm really good at actually because I'm so indecisive. I can see both sides of everything. But I think it would have been a really good skill to hone. But shout out to them. That's amazing.
You're making our long shot feature now about you,
No,
which is just inherently selfish and somewhat on brand, let me tell you.
The point
like, dude,
here,
you just had a wedding, you just had a bachelor party, and you just had a honeymoon. Like, can we not talk about Davis for a little bit?
I could not agree more.
Anyways, speaking of not talking about Davis, let's get to Udonis. You guys are really going to enjoy this one. He is truly Miami Heat legend, and he's coming back for another year. The news, actually, funny story, the news broke mid-interview, but we all turned our phones off during the interview. Obviously, he knew he was coming back. Didn't want to say anything or didn't want to break it on the pod, whatever. But we had no idea. I had a hunch that it was probably going to happen, but it actually broke mid-interview, which is kind of special.
Amazing. Also, my favorite interview we've done. I'm going to make this about me again.
Right, there you go.
My favorite interview we've done so far.
All right, here's Udonis.